Herbie likes to keep a lot of his data and like look back at the past and see what is kind of how people performed based on what they went in practice. I remember, I think it was Carter Swift. He had like 50s that he had been doing from a push, and his like time that he's projected to go, he was like a 40, I forget, it was like 42 something, and he went like within 1/100th of that time.
Welcome to Social Kick. I'm Brian Lundquist. We got the full crew. Luke Paddington back on a good connection this week. Dr. John Mullen and joining us fresh off 47-4. What the fuck, Patrick Sammon? What's up, man? How are you?
Doing great. How you doing?
47-4? What do you have to say for yourself?
Long time coming, but I mean, super happy, super proud of myself, and it was a team of it was a whole community that helped me get there. So definitely not by myself.
Not only 47-4, but individual swim at the World Championships for the United States of America. That's sick. That's like boom. Not just a relay. I'm not gonna make finals. I'm gonna get individual spot. And that's awesome. Well done.
Thank you.
Boom. Making Kim proud.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. We were sharing before we started recording that we had a little hangout sesh with Patrick's mom at NCAA's this year, along with hanging out with a bunch of the rest of the parents, and she was a real hoot, as my old pal Tyler Fenwick would say. Before we get into some of the fun stuff that led to that 47-4 and the whole community you just talked about, we asked our audience at Social Kick Swim on Instagram and YouTube for questions for our guests, and of course we got lots of them for you, Patrick, and a lot of times these are coming from some teammates and some other general swim fans that follow our channel, so you may recognize some of the folks that had questions for you, but here we go. This one is from Sun Devil Swim Dive, and they wanted to know, why didn't you hit your signature salmon celebration?
That's one of my regrets. I wish I could have gone back and hit it, but shout out to Logan Herka and Derek Schmidt for making it up. It's the silly salmon.
I used to have a teammate, Will Dove, and he always used to hit the W, or W or whatever it was, and then he would make it fly.
Flip it.
I like that one. Oh man, you guys lucky with a cool name that does something like that. Okay.
And and you are from a part of California that is salmon in the river, right? El Dorado Hills and stuff. You can get salmon way up in Sacramento and stuff.
Yeah, up in the North Fork of the American River, I think. Yeah, so never caught any up there myself, but maybe in the future. It'd be pretty fun.
Great summer spot if you live in Northern California.
Yeah.
Go over there and hit the river. It's within driving distance of the Bay Area. So good.
Yep. Shout out Folsom Lake.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's a good place.
Yeah, we've taken, John, didn't we go up to Folsom? Didn't we take my boat out on Folsom? Were you there for that one?
I don't think we were at Folsom. You and I and my wife, and her first ever sunburn experience, went to a different lake. She got sunburned again a few weeks ago for the second time in her life, and it's a very entertaining experience.
Well, we got to ask the expert from being in the sun, both in California and in Arizona. What's the go-to to keep the skin healthy these days, Patrick?
Let's go with some classic zinc, I think. Blue Lizard, I used to use that a lot. And I think my brother just got this one called Soul and Touch or something. It's like made with beef tallow. So I might try that one out, see how that works. But yeah.
All right. Well, so I think swimmers can relate to the like shaving parties that you would have before a big meet, and somebody's got to shave the back. Do you guys do that before practice at ASU every day and have somebody lather up your back with sunscreen? What's that whole situation like?
There's a few. I know Rafa Miroslav, who just got here. He had like the worst burn I've ever seen after being in IU dungeon for however long, and he was out for
dungeon.
Yeah, he was out for a week because of how bad the burn was. So now he's getting everyone to come help him put on his 70 SPF before practice. It gets pretty bad.
It is something we don't talk about with swimming though. How sometimes the swimmer next to you smells. Don't you like dive in the water and you're like, oh my god, like what? Do you not smell sometimes the deodorant that somebody puts on? Sometimes
I've never had that happen.
Yes.
This is a Luke issue.
No, I'm swimming side by side to some people, and you're going side by side. And you're like that's deodorant. Yes.
Dang,
What are you talking about?
What?
You all right?
In the water, you smell people?
I'm more experienced than you guys. I get it. It's okay.
Yeah, you're old as shit, but I didn't think something's wrong with your smell. Jeez, man.
Man, Luke always has those like needs to trim his nose hairs and forgets to. So every time I see him, I'm like, you got to trim those things.
It's
man. You gotta
filters.
Take care of that shit.
Filters.
All right, let's get on with the audience questions. So Jack Culp wants to know, how often do you suit up at ASU? Is it every day, every other day? What are we doing?
I'd say we suit up around 3 times a week. It'll normally be Wednesday afternoon, Friday afternoon, and then Saturday morning. We'll get up and race.
How often are you refreshing these practice suits? Is it the same suit the whole season? That's your suit up in practice suit, or
Yeah, there are a few that are getting a little see-through, so I need to start changing those out. Yeah.
a little past their life cycle.
Yeah.
All right, Ilya wants to know who's the better reel maker, you or him?
I'm gonna be a little biased. I'm gonna say me, but he's been making his way. I've been helping him out a little bit with some of the video stuff, and he's actually making some good ones now. So
Good.
Oh yeah, you guys have a little skill sesh trade off.
yeah, we'll help each other out, and then we also got Michael Andrew too. Tiago's kind of my OG film guy. So but he's gone. He's back in Switzerland right now. So me and Ilya have been helping each other out.
Man, the content crew, it's coming at ASU. All right, I don't know if this one's not safe for work, but this one's from Tolu Young, who says, why do they call you the motorboat?
I'd say for my kick, I don't know what he's talking about. But yeah.
You son of a bitch, jeez.
You motorboat son of a bitch. All right, well, let's talk about that kick then. Why is it so famous?
I don't know. I mean, just been working on it during practice. I guess when I first came to ASU, I could barely make the intervals doing kick and Bob's group. Just trying to like keep up with all those guys and girls in that group. I think that just kind of helped me kind of increase my kick over the past couple of years. But now it's one of my skill sets. So I'm grateful for all those rough times finally coming to fruition.
So, taking a weakness, making it a strength. But tell us maybe what was a set that you couldn't make back then, and then what are you going on it now, just to let people see kind of the growth and improvement over the time.
Yeah, I think my freshman year, it was one of the first practices we did like 10-1s kick, I think it was like something like 10-1s kick. It was 4 on 130. 2 on 120, 2 on 110, 2 on 105, or something like that. But once I got past the 120 mark, I was not making it. I was fighting for my life. But yeah, so I think my best 100 fast kick back then was probably like a 110, and now I think I can go like a 58 on the board. So.
What's the standard? What are we doing? Do we get a stroke into the wall? Do we not get a stroke into the wall? Do you dolphin kick? Is there dolphin kicks not allowed off the wall? I need some details.
Yeah, so I do one stroke into the wall, flip turn, and then I get two or three dolphin kicks. Gotta make up for the guys that are just going on their back who just dolphin kick to 15. So.
Okay, so there's no like rule as a team though that like, okay, for standardizing this, because everybody hates that when you're next to somebody in practice. And the pet peeve of mine that I hate the most is kicking with a buoy in. I hate anybody who kicks with a buoy in. But on kick sets like that, you always have that one teammate where like you're taking one stroke into the wall, not the board stroke, and they're taking the board and one stroke over
the lane line
and they're dolphin kicking underneath. And I feel like every team should have a standard for the way that these things are done to equalize it so that you can call people out and get rid of that cheating because it's not fair.
Yeah. I agree.
All right.
I mean, I'm one of the culprits though for the pulling. They get mad at me because my band is like super skinny and super flexible, while all of them are like duct taped together.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So, is everyone doing flip turns with the kickboard?
It's preference, but I'd say probably 80% are.
Okay, because I feel like that was never a thing when I was swimming, doing flip turns during a kick set with a board. How about you guys being Luke? I know Luke didn't even have flip turns yet.
We didn't have boards.
Yeah, they did bucket turns back then.
Looks like the piece of wood we used down in the Caribbean.
The wool suits. How do you go underwater in the wool suits?
Yeah, that innovation hadn't hit the swimming world. Yeah. No, we didn't. Generally not. In general, on a kick set like that. But I remember the standard being that everyone on the team had to be able to do, if it was 2100s kick, everyone had to be able to make an interval of 130 short course yards.
Yeah.
And if somebody couldn't make that, and it was usually freshmen who maybe hadn't done a lot of kicking in their high school program or whatever, maybe they're just not far along in their career. Yeah. But 130, I mean, that was the standard. So I don't know what it would be in Bob's group now. It's probably faster than that, but still, there was a minimum standard. Everybody had to hit it. So, yeah. But yeah, hey, then you turned it weakness into a strength. There you go.
Exactly.
What else? When you talk about let me give you more. So, your first default to, hey, there was a lot of other people that were involved in the result there. And when you get your hand on the wall and you get an individual slot at Worlds and you see a result on the wall that's I don't know, potentially very career validating, validates all the work and the time and effort that you put into something like this. And, you've been on this upward trajectory, but it's still a really big result. And I think I can understand there being, a lot of people that flash into your brain. Who are some of those people? What are some of the things that you were thinking about in that moment as well?
Yeah. I guess earliest got to start with the family, always helping me out. I mean, getting me to practice every day, food on the table, all that. And then I guess my earliest swim teammates, one of them's name was Kyle Lair. He was committed to SIU, and then COVID happened and he ended up losing 3 fingers on his hand from a RV accident or a ATV accident. So he ended up not doing that, but now he's a pilot for Frontier. So
nice.
Anything can happen with that. But he was one of my biggest training partners growing up. So shout out to him. Getting to ASU, I think Grant House, he was one of my mentors, kind of leading, because he was a senior when I was a freshman. So he helped me kind of learn the ropes there at ASU, and then was always there pushing me in practice. Julian Hill as well. He just graduated with his master's last year. Super fast 200 freestyler. The coaches, obviously, at Aquasol, Darren Mai, he was my club coach. Bob for the first 2.5 years, and then Herbie now. But yeah, I'd say those are my biggest supporters, and definitely people that help me get to where I'm at right now.
What about,
and for the 47.4, I was just gonna dive more into it with that race, because obviously you've been a great swimmer at ASU and a huge contributor on relays and points, but to make your first team, getting second there, I mean, it was a huge breakthrough, at least in my eyes. Looking back at your results, just missing Olympic trials, top 8, you were making those improvements, especially in the long course pool, but just missing out on some of that recognition. So we talked about it briefly, but making that team and going that best time, what would you say were some of those changes that did help further to get to those times?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I always knew I had the potential to do what I did. It just took a couple years extra than I'd initially anticipated. I guess the things that kind of put me over to that next point was this past year, I was kind of just swimming just to have fun. After trials, I was kind of on the edge of whether I'd just kind of quit or keep swimming. I was I have one more year of eligibility. I might as well just finish out, get my master's, and I don't know, just have fun this season. So I think kind of taking the pressure off of myself of being I don't know, I have to do this, and kind of just have more fun for the sport. That was kind of really relieving, especially just getting up on the blocks and just having fun. That was probably the biggest thing that's changed over the past year that I think's been super beneficial for me. And then also my teammate, for my team, just being a lot more fun, less like super, I don't know, stern. I don't know if stern is the right word, but just like more charismatic during practice, all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Are you the enforcer?
No. I kind of just, I'm more quiet, I'd say, on the team. I try to lead by example in the pool, but I don't know. I guess the biggest enforcer on our, I don't really even know if there's like an enforcer. Everyone kind of just like knows the work they have to do. And I guess maybe our captains, Johnny will say he's not really confrontational with anyone, but if something comes up, then he'll have to go and say something to them. But yeah.
And at nationals, there's a story about you having an injury going on, and then you go that 47-4. So what exactly happened with some of your injuries and things that have happened leading up to that time?
Yeah, so after midseason in November, I guess we were using fins a lot, and my ankle slowly started to, I don't know, just hurt during practice, and I didn't really know what it was. So initially I just stopped kicking with fins, helped a little bit, and then I think I just started to overuse it, and then eventually got tendonitis in my ankle. So that put me out for like 2 months, where I would just come into the pool, try to kick, see if I could even like do one dolphin kick per day, and just, if I couldn't, then I just end up pulling for the entire practice. So that was pretty rough, because I'd just go in, see my physical trainer and be like, hey, like, what do I need to do? And she'd basically do the same. We were doing the same thing for almost like 2 months. Or I guess at that halfway point at 1 month, I was kind of like, I don't know if this is like ever going to end. Like, it almost felt like, I don't know, it could be a career ending, just like, I guess this is it. But during that time, instead of kind of just like trying to focus on my ankle, I was mostly just trying to use it as like a strength to increase my pulling technique and I guess power in the water on the catch. So I guess over those 2 months, it was hard mentally, but I knew I could, I don't know, get past it if there was a end in sight. So yeah, I don't really know where I was going with this, but yeah.
Well, I don't know about the pulling. So do you think, unplanned and abnormal, like not what the season plan would have been to integrate that much pulling, but do you think that there's something to how much pulling you did that netted the result that you had?
I mean, maybe. I guess like in the weight room as well, I could just tell I was getting stronger with my upper body. So I think it definitely did have a positive effect on my catch as well. But yeah, I don't know if there's something to like, I'm not recommending that you should go and pull for the next 2 months and not kick, but it definitely helped.
I wanted to ask, talk us through that final, even that day for you, because we talk about the injury and how you felt it in the morning, and then Jack gets up and goes 46.99. What? And you're in lane 6 for the final, yeah. So you're next to Destin, and it's a really tight race. You guys, you're out with them. You're out in what do you got in 24.7 or something? 24.8. 22.7, 22.8 you went out in, right?
Luke's getting confused with his yards.
I'm thinking about the time you came back in, because you came back in at 24.7, right? You came back in 24.7, you're out in 22.7. Talk to me about the race. How did you feel? Because it was a tight touch. You out-touched Chris by 0.02. You out-touched Destin. You got your hand on the wall. You knew Destin's gonna come up underwater and spend time in the water next to you. Talk us through that 100 free, and what about it you think was the difference? Was it your strength, your confidence, your ability to believe in yourself, the training you guys had done a week earlier? What got your hand on that wall just ahead of Chris and Destin?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was everything, but over this past year, I guess my attack for the 100 free has kind of changed. Like, I used to literally just sprint the first 50. So last year, I remember I went out my best time to the feet at Olympic trials in the semifinals. I think I was like 22.4, 22.5 to the feet. And at that point, I don't know. Even in short course yards leading up to then, I would always just sprint that first 50. And more this year, I was learning to kind of relax a little bit on that first 25 and kind of just set my stroke up.
Right.
So I think that definitely helped for this past race, just being able to have a lot more coming home. I guess once I flipped at that 50 wall and I saw that I was relatively with the pack, and I guess I turned and saw Destin. I was like, if I'm with Destin at this this next 25, then I think I can make the team. And my goal just was obviously just to make the relay spot. And then I guess at that last 25 mark, my mind kind of just went blank, and I was like, this is years worth of work. Just put your head down and try to get to the wall no matter what. And I guess my mind kind of blanked that last 5 meters going into the wall. I don't really remember what I was thinking about. But yeah, just hitting the wall and seeing that I got second was like just super crazy. I couldn't really believe it. I was still in shock and like disbelief for that next like 24-hour period that I was actually going to be swimming as an individual for USA. But obviously I was over the moon with it, super excited. And I think it's just been a lead up of everything, whether it be practice, nutrition, mobility, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of helped me get to this point.
All right. I think I figured out the breakthrough. You're too freaking smart, so we finally got you to turn your freaking brain off for once. And you went 47.4. For those that don't know, this guy won like the nerdiest, smartest swimmer award at NCs with the Elite 90. So, I mean, that's all it took. High levels of pain to dial that thing down a little.
Yep.
Patrick, it sounds like were you more surprised at the place or the time? Was there a set you guys did that you did a back end 50s and you were like nailing 24.6s, 24.7s? Were you and Herbie sort of like expecting a 47 low and you're more surprised at the time, or both were like a big surprise to you?
I'd say it was pretty expected. I remember probably a month leading up to it. I think we were doing like 450s on, I think it was 450s on 4 minute, because we also just did that set yesterday. But leading up to it, we did it. I think I was 22. I'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure I was like 22 mid, 22 high, 23, and then 23, 23. And I was like, after that practice, he pulled me. He's like, I think you have the chance to go like 47 low, 46.9. I was like, okay, well, if that's a possibility, then let's try to do it. So ended up being somewhat in that range. Maybe I can get a little better, but yeah.
Does it help to have like Herbie, someone that's coached athletes going around this time, and maybe even having guys like Kulo and other ones on your team that are going around those times, just to build that confidence? Someone does tell you that, you're like, hey, they know what they're talking about. They've seen it before, and that just helped motivate and build the confidence. Yeah,
100%. Because Herbie likes to keep a lot of his data and like look back at the past and see what is kind of how people performed based on what they went in practice. I remember, I think it was Carter Swift. He had like 50s that he had been doing from a push, and his like time that he's projected to go, he was like a 40, I forget, it was like 42 something. And he went like within 1/100th of that time based on what like Herbie's projection of it was. And it was like, I guess Herbie will know, like he has a pretty good like prediction of what I or whatever teammate will be going based on what we go in practice.
Yeah. Hey, what's it like to go 47.4 and know that the world record's 46.4?
I was about to ask that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how he does it.
I mean, I don't know either, but isn't that insane though, to be like elite, like one of the world's best hunter freestylers? First of all, congrats. nice flex to be able to put yourself in that category. And then, and then to be in that position and then go, holy shit, there's a guy who goes a full second faster, or at least he did it one time. And I know he's been 46 multiple times, but like, I don't know. That's that taking that other leap, because I would imagine, like, I remember I had one swim in my career that I felt like I just was like I couldn't have done it any better, and that was when I went 22.9 in the 50 butterfly, and like I remember that swim being like that was it, like I couldn't have done anything. Do you have anything from your 47.4 where you're like, okay, well, you said that was expected, but are there things that you're thinking about that you can improve upon heading into worlds, or potentially just repeat it and look to seasons ahead on how you can improve upon that?
Yeah, 100%. I think my start in turns are probably one of the worst like in the US right now, so that's been something I've been working on every day after practice. If my hamstring's doing all right, then I'll try to get up and do some drills to work on that. And then my turns, I've been working with Grant sometimes, and then just also looking at kind of the underwater stuff that we've been using and trying to just find minor stuff that I can fix, whether it be like the undulation of my dolphin kicks, where I need to be timing my breakout at, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff I need to be working on. But I'd definitely say it's mostly the starts and turns that need the biggest improvement.
I think that I see you as like still having the effects of the championship mindset that you guys had a year ago, and the training, and it's continuing and building off that. I mean, a year ago, your teammates are winning gold medals and silver medals left, right, and center at Paris. I mean, the training you guys did then worked. And then a year later, you're continuing to do well at NC. It's like it's working. It's a confidence. Do you guys talk about the confidence and the you don't have a swag? It's not arrogance. It's just like this belief in yourself. Wasn't there? There's a belief that you belong on this US team. Like Herbie set that in place and what you have done over the years. Talk about the mental side of the training that you guys did and what he works on there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess especially last year when we have like the highest, or I guess multiple world record holders, gold medalists, and just like the best athletes in the world just surrounding you. Right. Even this year as well, too.
Of course.
I guess you kind of just pick up on what little things that they're doing that you're not. So I remember I'd always just be watching Leon underwater, just trying to figure out what he's doing that I can be doing better.
Yeah.
Also outside the pool, seeing how they recover or just been eating and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think the confidence that they hold on deck, it kind of oozes into everyone else. Like, and when you're doing the same sets and like keeping up with them at that high level, then you're also going to have that same sort of confidence that, oh, I can also be on the stage.
Yeah.
And I think just with having all the pros as well as just high level athletes on ASU it's kind of just been a perfect storm to where all of us are kind of having this confidence boost going into big meets like world trials and then also world championships leading up.
Totally.
So earlier you talked about, speaking of mindset, earlier you talked about kind of swimming free and maybe without some pressure, and that, being a nice change and perhaps leading to this result. But do you feel like, is there anything you're doing proactively to maintain that same mindset as you go and represent U.S. with an individual swim in the 100 free at Worlds? Do you feel like, does that coming with any sense of pressure on your mind, or do you feel like you're able to maintain this kind of free mentality, and or are you actively preparing to be faced with a sense of pressure when you arrive at the meet and the team assembles? And is there anything that is on your mind to just make sure that you stay in the mindset that's really optimal for you?
Yeah. I think that kind of over this, I don't know, I guess leading up to it, it's going to be another meet, just like any other meet. I think honestly that World Trials had more pressure, like in a sense, than World Championships, just because like making that team is so hard.
Yeah.
But I know I've already represented the U.S. before at U23s, and I don't know, it's more of just like when I was there in Dublin, it was kind of just like an honor just to be representing the U.S. And I think it gave me a confidence boost that even more than what I've had at the U.S. trials. So I think I don't know, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to kind of have the same mentality that I've been having this past year where, it's just another meet, get to have fun, represent the U.S., which at the highest level, which is awesome. So I don't know, there's nothing that I'm really going to be changing in the next couple of weeks. I'm probably just going to try to stick with what I've been doing because it seems to have been working.
Totally. Yeah. Damn. It sure has. So you were talking about like areas of improvement, and recently Cam McAvoy posted that he saw like a couple tenths improvement to 15 meters, and that's a big thing for the 50 free world champion and Olympic champion to be saying, that he made a big improvement there. And like, that's a hard area. Not everybody's Dressel or Crooks off the block. Well, actually, nobody is. Everybody is not. Definitively not. And so like if you're, maybe that's an area for improvement, then you really, not to say those guys don't work at it, they work at it relentlessly too, but it's something that the rest of the world, when you're looking at like the elite of how they do it, how they get off the block, how explosive they are, what their entry is, how they kick, how to do the breakout. I think it'd be encouraging to see somebody like Cam who's made such an improvement in that particular area. Are you the kind of guy who's like, will see people on deck and make friends and, potentially pick the brain of somebody like Cam McAvoy at Worlds? Or, is that more reserved to the close-knit, the teammates that you've got, like having spent time on deck with guys like Leon and, Michael Andrew and so forth?
I'd say I'm more reserved at meets, especially because I don't want to like be intruding them like when they're doing their stuff during warm-up. So I'd say definitely more like talking with the people during practice. But I know my Tolu, who had one of the questions, he's training down there with Cam right now. So might have a little mutual friend through that. And then I'd be able to pick his brain when he's not like warming up and all that kind of stuff and see what's been working for him. Also just ask Tolu, see what he's been doing down there that's been helping. Because he just won a best time at Australian Nationals, which was great. But yeah, I think I'd try to save it for after the meet. But yeah, I'd love to talk to him, see what he's been doing.
Tell him you can help him out with his motorboat, and he can go with his...
And I was going to say, if Ilya's on that 4x1 400 free relay for Canada, you better be talking shit to him at least. Maybe giving him like 30 Dr. Peppers behind the block. You're like, hey, Ilya, here, I got you this huge Dr. Pepper. Here, enjoy it, man.
That's a normal day.
There's been some banter going on back and forth between me and Johnny, and then Phil, who just made his first Canadian team, and Ilya. So it'll be fun.
And with being on the relays, I guess, are there any things or any, I don't know, experiences with that you're extra excited about participating in at Worlds?
Yeah, I think when you're not swimming just by yourself, it just is always just way more fun. The relays at NCs are always my favorite events, so I'm sure it'll be the same at the World Championships. So super excited to be able to swim with people instead of just by myself. But yeah, I think it'll be super fun.
What's your preferred leg and why?
Definitely not lead off because my start, but I'd say, I love anchoring. I think it's always super fun.
Yeah.
That, or I guess I like the back end, third or fourth, just because usually the water is a little less choppy if there's like a lead or you're a little behind. So, but yeah, I mean, I like going to any place. I think I was mostly second for the 4x1 this past year, and I went best times doing that. So
Okay.
I don't have a problem going any leg.
So
I don't know. They might have to lead you off. I'm worried about this hamstring issue that you're going to pull a hammy up there doing a step up start and fall on whoever's leading off.
Yeah, hopefully not. Knock on wood.
Yeah, hopefully not. All right, Brian.
What's an acceptable relay start at ASU?
Like reaction time wise, or if it's safe, that's our only goal, I guess.
safe.
Just
Yeah.
On
that's
DQ.
it.
Yeah, it could be
No, like-
1.0 as long as it's not DQ.
Oh,
What?
Luke and I can do that.
Yeah, I can be safe.
There's some hope for World Masters for you, Luke. 1-0.
No way. I thought it for sure. I don't know. For us, it was like 0.3. You started making fun of people for being on the block eating a sandwich.
Nah, yeah,
You made
that's
Brian die
right.
inside there a little with that comment.
No, but
Yeah, 1.0. Come on now.
no, but ASU had some good dice. You had one bad luck, right? At Pac-12s, you had one bad takeover. The rest you had some good takeovers this year.
It's not luck.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
It's not Pac-12s anymore. Is that even a thing? Come on now.
Yeah.
What it was, the conference meet.
Big flow.
The conference. The Federal Way meet. They just need to call it that pool beat.
Yeah.
We have the Federal Way Championship going on. It happens every February, March time.
This one's a bit off the wall, but I'm actually curious from someone who's like inside. What has USA Swimming said privately to the World Champs team about the enhanced games? Because they released that public statement saying like, "Hey, don't associate with it whatsoever." Totally understand where they're coming from on that. I'm curious if they've given like, follow up from nationals. Have they given anybody else any extra guidance on that? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I personally haven't received any more
No,
news
okay.
or notifications about that. I'm also not on the national team right now, so maybe they sent like a newsletter out to them. But yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews from people on our team, so don't know if I want to say anything about it right now.
Yeah, no, I was just didn't mean to put you on the spot, but yeah, go ahead, John.
Just speaking of it, he can't go to Worlds now. Don't you know that? God, you just cursed him. He's banned now. You just did it. He's off the team.
I baited you.
Jeez.
No, I think
Yeah,
that's
you
like
got him.
that's my biggest
Salmon took the bait.
question. That's my biggest question for them is like, well, what does that mean exactly? Like, if you, you can't like compete in it, but you got to be able to at least say something about it. Not to say that you need to now, but anyway, go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, I want to ask about, you've had over a year since Bob left, and a good year, hindsight's 2020, and for you, obviously, was it a decision you made not to go to Texas, or was that never a decision to you? And then how has the last year at ASU been for you guys? Because to me, ASU especially this last year, is a culture of like fun, hard work, professionalism, warm welcoming from, you guys do your world championships for 25 free, for instance. So you're on social a lot. You guys you're showing how hard you work, you're open book. So first of all, was there a consideration to go to Texas for you? And then how has it been like for the last year at ASU?
Yeah, I'd say there's definitely like a little bit of hesitation to go to Texas just because Bob had been my coach for the past 2.5 years. But I mean, once I kind of really stepped back and kind of looked at it, I was like, I'm having a lot more fun when I'm training with Herbie, and my times are getting better with him. So I'm trusting him as my coach, as well as the master's program that I was looking to do. They didn't have it at Texas, so that was kind of already off the table to be going over there. And yeah, I mean, I think it was a great decision it was a good decision just to stay at ASU. And I think on deck, it's definitely been a lot more lively and fun. Not saying Bob isn't fun. He's a great guy. But Herbie just loves to interact with all the team and, get everyone kind of hyped up for the CBSA championship. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun this past year, and I think he's doing a good job stepping up into this head coach role. and he's definitely maturing as a coach, and he's learned a lot. Just like having to kind of been thrown into this position, but I think he's loving it, and I think all the team likes it as well.
We hear you. You had to get away from that Sprit kryptonite Bob Bowman to really have that breakthrough in the 100.
The anti-social.
We hear what you're saying. We hear what you're saying. Don't worry, we got you there.
Famously antisocial cake, Bob Bowman.
What do you think the world record would be for 25-yard freestyle? If it was ever, everybody at their peak got to compete it officially, what do you think it would have been to hand, obviously? You guys are going 9.7s, right, and stuff, but I think Caleb went out 9.7. Sorry, 8.7s. You're going 8.7s and stuff. But I think Caleb went out like as fast as feet in his 17.6. Like, what do you think the world record would be in a 25-yard?
8.4 on the way out.
I'd say 7.27.
7.2?
Yeah. What? Ryan Held, who has one of the best starts and breakout or 15 meters of all time, he went a 7.9 in one of our practices. So I think it could definitely be 7 low.
7.10's faster though than that.
7.2?
Wow.
I think it could be very quick.
All right. Follow-up question. Do you think that it would be a good event to have for national TV? Because, the 100-meter in track is a 9-second race, and it's the best race. We love it. It's only 9 seconds long. But in my mind, my opinion first is that swimming at 25 is so splashy. You don't know what's going on. It's going to be so close. Where track, you see the differences. You see faces. It's a lot more of a viewer-friendly. But does that still matter? Do you think a 25-yard or 25-meter would be a good event for World Championships ever to have?
I think it would be good, but me and my friend Tiago were kind of talking about this. We think we should, for the 25, have it be one person at a time, so you could be able to watch their stroke. Maybe have a glass pool where you could watch them underwater as well.
Yeah.
Like the pole vault.
Yeah, so I think one at a time would be really fun. You could definitely be able to analyze each other's strokes a lot more in depth than just splash across the pool. But either way, I think it'd be really fun to watch.
And so do you think okay, Patrick, you go down, you went 7.7. Okay, I'm going to go crap, I went 7.8. So you move on, that kind of thing? You go one at a time, and who has it fast at the end of the round?
Yeah, I guess it could be kind of like a skills event. That'd be pretty fun. Yeah. Especially since it's a 25. I think if you have enough rest in between, it shouldn't be too strenuous on the athlete.
Where do you stack up on your own team right now? Where would you rank yourself in the 25? Or where do you sit?
I'm one of the worst. I'd say I'd probably say I'm 6th on the team right now. Because we got Ilya, Johnny, Michael, Mikkel, and who else have we got? Quinn Cedar will sometimes pop off in a 25. He has a good start. Oh, and Tommy Palmer has a great start and breakout. So, yeah, I'm pretty far down the list, which is good. It gives me more competition to try to get better.
What do those guys do better than you?
I think it's mostly my entry, because I have a relatively good jump, just flat standing, but it's just I don't know, in that hunched over position, I just do not feel athletic at all. So I'm trying to work on my flexibility and try to, get more power out of that, just because right now I'm just flopping into the water and without any good sort of angle of entry. So that's kind of what I've been working on.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating when you have that many different people who are elite at something in a different way. And so that's what was always fun to me to watch guys like Fred Biscay and Cesar Cielo, is to be able to pick up from their strengths, and each had very different strengths. Cesar very good to 15. Fred was very powerful in the water, but not that fast off the block, relatively. And so you just mentioned a few different people that probably have different strengths, some better at jumping off the block, but some with a really solid entry. You mentioned earlier, like eyes on, lay on, and being able to pick up from what he's doing underwater. What are some things that people can pick up from watching you?
I think one of my strengths would be the timing of my breath. Because even when I swim in the 50, I breathe every stroke. It's just faster for me than doing no breath. So, like, whenever, I guess my timing and then my catch as well. Those are probably the two main things that I'd tell people to watch in a video and they could pick up on.
And are those things that you developed over time, or have those been strengths of yours for a while?
I definitely say I developed them. Especially when I was younger, I didn't have the greatest technique. I think my coach, when I was like 12, he told me to try to get across the lap in 15 strokes for a 25, and now I'm doing it in 6 in the same amount of kicks. So just working on that DPS has been the thing that's kind of been getting me to this point, I think.
It's a pretty good improvement.
I want to talk more about that breath, because I think that's a huge element, especially in the 100 free. I was using the Destro, our sponsor, Destro machines, and I was like loading up with a ton of weight. And then at some point I'm swimming so long, it's like, shit, I got to breathe. How can I breathe and not get pulled all the way back? And that's an issue I have, is when I'm going fast, trying to breathe efficiently still and kind of stay in your bow wave. So is the breathing mechanics that you have something that you've worked on and have like drills for to get dialed in, or something that came more naturally to you?
Yeah, I'd say doing single arm freestyle has been one of the main technique, or I don't know, drills I've been doing to improve that. Also, just watching online, like I've been leading up this past year, I've been watching a lot of Pan, and he's keeping his head very low to the water. So I've been working on that as well. So yeah, I guess watching people that are better than yourself, and then also drills like single arm, and then I guess underwater recovery has been like breathing. Doing that drill has also been helping try to breathe with an early catch instead of waiting till your hands further back. But yeah.
Do you have a phase during your stroke when you try to initiate that breath? Like when this happens, I want to initiate that breath.
It's kind of just like when I breathe to my right. So whenever I start that right hand catch, that's when I initiate my breath. It's not going to be the same time, but that's when my rotation starts.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're breathing so much more, are you doing shorter, faster, or is it changed? Like, does your breath intake change? How much you inhale? Is it a smaller mouth, or is it a bigger gulp?
To be honest, I haven't really noticed that. That's a good question.
But it's a difference. It's a difference, guys. Yeah.
I guess when I'm doing like a long aerobic set, I'll definitely do longer, more inhalation than a 25. But yeah, it's not something maybe I should look into that more and try to figure it out.
Not too big. You might start smelling people in the pool.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I got that from talking to Nathan. Nathan Adrian's one of the people who is really working on his quick breaths really quickly, and he would talk about a really side of the mouth, this really quick inhale from the side of the mouth, what he would get to make it really fast. But you don't get as much oxygen in, so he'd have to do more often.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking about. I
was gonna say, is he doing it more often? He's still breathing every stroke. He's not going side to side, right? It's not like he's still doing every other. I'm like, what do you mean?
No, as opposed to breathing every 4 in 100, he breathe every 2 and stuff. That's why.
Oh,
no, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Patrick, you breathing every 4 in the 100?
I've transitioned out of it, so now I'm just breathing every 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing a set with Eamon Sullivan, who's a former world record holder in the 100 free, and they did a lot of training, hundreds on repeat, breathing 4s, because the goal was breathing 4s. And but yeah, I'm a believer that whatever breathing pattern works for you, as long as you're able to get an efficient breath. that's the most important thing. Like more oxygen, but efficient breathing is the way to go. So
Yep.
I couldn't do it with breathing every 4 the whole time. I had to like cycling 4s and 2s. But I mean, I feel like the guys that are able to go really fast breathing 2s the whole way, that's got to be an advantage, right? So I don't know. Yeah,
It's like Phelps breathing every stroke and fly, right? Or like a lot of these elite flyers, right? They breathe every stroke, even though it's like, oh no, so much more drag and all this, but almost all the elite flyers breathe every stroke. Summer's a little different. She has some pattern in her breathing, but a lot of them are doing every stroke breath.
Yeah. What are you most excited about for Worlds?
I'd say kind of immersing myself in the culture, because Dylan Gravely, who's one of my roommates, he said he went to Singapore for his training trip and he like loved it there. So I'm super excited to try new foods over there. Just kind of see how the layout of the city is and the country, and obviously meeting new people from different countries that I've never met before. I think that'll be super fun. And then Team USA as well. I mean, I'm super new to the team, so I'll get to meet a lot of new friends from this trip. So I'm super excited for that.
Yeah. What about that like Elite 90 thing? What does that do for you? What do you get from that? Did you get some money from that? And also, do you like, what's that like as far as like a career lift for you?
I wish I got some money. That'd been cool.
No, they don't pay you money for that? Shit, they should.
Yeah, I wish. Yep. Yeah, no money. Still broke over here. But I think, I mean, I guess it's kind of a nice thing to get recognized for, just for my hard work in the classroom as well as in the pool, just balancing both at the same time. So I think it was a good award to be recognized with, and especially following Tiago, who got it last year. I think that was super cool to have 2 ASU students go back to back.
Want to stack the deck at ASU for it? You guys got somebody on the inside that's stuff in the ballot box, or what?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought it was a party school. What's going on? You're not living up to the reputation.
Sorry.
What does post swimming life look like for you?
Post swimming, I don't know. I'd like to get into the real estate space. I think we already have a bunch of former swimmers who are doing it right now. We got Haley Flickinger doing the residential side, so she's been a good mentor to look up to. Then also potential job in the future. Cody Bybee has been making some gains on the real estate side as well. And then Ethan Luke, he just got his Masters World Record poster or recognition thing. He's been doing real estate as well. So we got a lot of people out here doing it. Don't know if I'll be working in the same sector as them. They're all mostly doing residential. My master's, I was mostly working with commercial properties. So my goal would to be mostly to work with hospitality, like resort, golf kind of developer, and like a 4 seasons, something like that. But I don't know, that's later in the future. I don't really know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, so just take it day by day.
Awesome.
What is next for you after Worlds? You mentioned before, like, hey, I've got one more year of college swimming. I might as well give it a go. Now you're on the Worlds team, getting second. What's going to be next after that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll keep swimming for at least one more year. My kind of motto was like, if I'll make the U.S. national team, then I'll keep swimming. So once I stop making the national team, then that's when I'll call it quits. But happy to make it this year. That means I got to go swim again and have fun with the team and get closer with the pros, because I know like they're have their own thing going when the college students are gone. So get to train with them. I think Michael's dad, he just got a job out in Hawaii. So he was kind of talking about possibly doing a training trip out there when the college teams in NCAAs. I don't know where it's going to be at next year, but I think that'd be pretty fun. And so, yeah.
Wait, I
Not
thought you were going to
bad.
be drinking with your mom outside of NCAA's next year. We classified that.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess gotta put the priorities. So mom first.
What's mom's cocktail of choice?
I guess Grey Goose Martini, dirty.
Ooh, top shelf.
Vodka
All
was
right.
definitely being pushed into my hand, and I was like, I'll stick with the Rainier, you know.
Dude, I cannot believe you're still working on that rack of Rainiers. We put down some Rainiers at NCAA's, let me tell you. But now John's drinking 3-month-old Rainiers, and we need to tighten that up. Get some fresh beer. All right, Patrick, we got some rapid fire questions for you, man. What's the hardest race in swimming?
Gotta be 400 IM, but I've also never done the mile, so could be the mile.
Oh,
I'm
dude, nice.
sticking with
Don't
400
do
IM.
the mile. You do
Yeah.
not need to do the mile.
There's no need.
You're not missing out on anything. Olympic gold or world record?
Olympic gold,
DP in the pool.
100%. Yeah.
100%.
If you got to keep 3 apps on your phone and all the rest of them get deleted, which 3 apps are you keeping?
I'll keep the camera app, I guess the call app, and then Clash Royale. Those are my big 3.
I feel like the call app is for a real estate career.
Yep.
All right.
time.
If you could have any sponsor, any dream sponsor, what would it be?
Dream sponsor. Oh, definitely Red Bull. Red Bull for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised you don't see that at the elite swim level. Like Summer doesn't. I really wish that international meets that you could race in a sponsor cap. Like, no offense to the Team USA cap, I think it's cool and all, but wouldn't it be rad if you had if we saw the Red Bull cap at, at Worlds?
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Because I know they got like the Yakult, or I don't know what it's called, like how you say it, but you can do like your
Just
sponsor
yogurt.
on one side and then the US on the other.
Yeah,
I think Summer had the Red Bull at Canadian trials, and then during the interview, they had the bell towel and that very, gentle touch of the Red Bull cooler behind them for the interviews.
the strategically placed mini fridge.
Yep.
Yeah,
just there in case they needed 30 Red Bulls.
I would have liked to see her slam one of those right there, like pull one out of the fridge, crack one,
Big time.
Maybe take a knee and take it down like she's getting iced or something. So
Patrick, I'm going to the World Masters Championships in Singapore. It's like 2 weeks later, and I'm getting custom caps for our team, and we have to follow the same requirements as the elite swimmers. So we have to have a Yakult.
Really?
Yeah, we need a Yakult print on our side. We have all these special specs and all that stuff.
Isn't that the biggest joke you've heard?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Why? Like, why? Who matters?
So
I want a
redundant.
rock social kick.
big yogurt fans up there. Yeah.
Love it.
All right. What's a time at Worlds that would actually like be jaw dropping for you? Like if you were to go a time and look up at the board, you'd be like, holy shit.
I guess it'd have to be the world record, so 46.4. Drop another second.
We got to go 46.30, I guess, right, to break the world record. So
Dang.
yeah, you can tie it 46.3. What? Okay, well give me the splits then. How would you swim it?
I guess I would go. How would I do this? Go out 22.4, come back in 23.9.
Back
Dang.
3.9.
Jeez.
Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be whoa. Yeah. But hey, look, somebody's already done it, and that he was out a bit faster, but all right, go do it. I love it. What's the hardest set you've ever done?
Back in Bob's group, we did. What was it? It was 3 rounds of 1050s fly on 45, like keep it moving, and then 550s fly on 35. I think it was 45 and 35. No break in between rounds, and I was drowning. Like 3/4 of the way through the set, Bob was like, "Put on your fins, Patty. You got to put on the fins. You're not making the interval right now." So I was like, that was probably one of the practices that made me want to quit the sport. I was like, I cannot be doing this anymore. As a 50 freestyler, why am I doing a 200 fly set?
How did you justify that? How did Bob justify that? Is it really mental training more than anything at that point?
I think so, yeah. At that point, it's like, if you can survive through the practice, you can do anything in the sport. So,
right, yeah.
How did his 100 get faster, guys? No idea how it got faster this year.
45-50 is butterfly. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was last year.
It took him a year to recover.
Yeah, it took a year to recover from that.
my shoulders are still feeling it.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go to swim therapy with Herbie to get past that. What's the best swim that you've ever seen live?
Best swim I've seen live. I guess my favorite swim that I seen live was Leon getting his first gold in Paris. That was awesome. Yeah, I definitely have to say that one, just because being his friend and like just getting him to see him achieve like his lifelong goal, it was great.
Okay, what did you think about the taking the shirt off at the Paris Olympic Park or whatever it was when all the French team is showing the abs off?
No, yeah, that was something. I don't know if the U.S. team is going to be doing that in L.A., but yeah, maybe.
They better.
Might need to be ready for it, man.
They might be doing this though.
Yeah.
You guys will be sea walking out there in LA.
All right, man. How much social kick are we doing at practice nowadays?
Good amount. This morning we had about like 300 social kick.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's adequate. I've heard a high mark of 3,000 yards in a practice before. That seems like a little, maybe, well, we're in support of it, but maybe a little much if you want to get really a whole lot better at swimming. But 300 yards of practice we will take it. Keep that up. Keep up what you're doing. Clearly it's working. So good to get to spend some time with you, Patrick, and we're rooting for you, man. Thanks for spending some time here, and yeah, we look forward to watching you at Worlds.
Thanks, you guys. Yeah, fun talking with you guys.
Same.
Awesome. That's it for this episode of Social Kick. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
See ya.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed this episode of Social Kick and you'd like to see more, subscribe to the channel. And we love talking swimming. We'd love to talk about swimming with you. So leave us a comment and we'll see you next time.